Welcome to Townsend 99, or welcome back if you're a lovely viewer. Happy 56th anniversary. Who sell out? Yeah, today was December 15th, 1967. My favorite album of all time was released in the UK, and what a absolute masterpiece this is. I mean, this is and this is like a deluxe version I got with 2 discs. I have a super deluxe. It's somewhere in the basement. I just wanted to talk about how great this album is. It's just one of the greatest albums of all time. Well, this is the greatest, but you know, definitely not an album to be swept under the rug. Um, this was the first album that Pete Townsend really focused on having a theme to it. First two albums had, for the most, well, the first album had no theme to it. It's just great song after great song. Second album was like that for the most part. Besides, of course, well, first I'm just gonna go through the backstory of the Who leading up to this. So Pete Townsend meets John Entwistle. They get together, and then they get Keith Moon, and then they get Roger. Well, they get Roger Daltrey after Townsend and Entwistle meet, I believe. I think Keith Moon was the last addition to the band, sort of like Ringo was to the Beatles. But yeah, Townsend, Entwistle, and then Daltrey, and then Moon the Loon. Um, pretty cool stuff. They went by the High Numbers. That was with their original drummer. I forgot the name of the original drummer, but they had a drummer before Keith Moon. They made a couple of songs with him, and then Keith Moon joined. Then they went by the Who. They went through other name changes, but then they went formally known as the Who. Uh, Released a single, 64. It was a Kinks inspirational. It's supposed to be like it was like a Kinks inspired song called "Can't Explain." Um, really good song that was backed with "Bald Headed Woman," which was also a pretty good song. Uh, anyway, anywhere, anyhow. I think was their second single that they released. I know My Generation was like second or third single that they released. I could be wrong. And then they released their amazing album, My Generation, released in 65, August of 65, that is, with, I forgot his name at the moment, Shel Tommy as their producer. That was the only album that they had him producing for. Then, for some reason or another, they had differences and they fired him. Either that or he quit, and they had to find a new producer. Uh, I will say Shel Tommy was a good producer, but I mean, he produced pretty well for this album. I wouldn't say he was bad or anything, but yeah, it was really good. Trying to look up the producer who produced them for a quick one. Lambert was their next producer after that. Kay Lambert produced them for their second album, Quick One, which, like I said, for the most part was also sort of like, well, big difference between My Generation and the Quick One was, well, for one, there was only one cover on the album. There was only one cover song on the album, as opposed to, I think it was 3 on the UK Who album, My Generation. And yeah, not that, but he had all 4 of them write songs. Pete Townsend did most of the writing, as you'd expect. Keith Moon wrote 2 of the tracks, one of them being I Need You, and Cobwebs and Strange. That's an interesting track. Daltrey somehow was only able to write 1 song. They didn't force him to do 2 like the other 2 members. John Entwistle he wrote 2 songs for the album, Whiskey Man and Boris the Spider. Those are 2 of my favorites on the album, besides the big one. Townsend wrote Run, Run, Run. Pardon me. I think that was the only song he wrote on the first side of the record. I know Boris the Spider, Entwistle wrote I Need You. Keith Moon wrote Whiskey Man. Entwistle wrote Heat Wave was a cover, and Cobwebs and Shades. So Townsend only wrote 1 song on the first side, which was interesting. If he had the US album, which was called Happy Jack, it would have been 2 songs that Townsend wrote. Second side, Townsend wrote 3 of the 4 tracks on side 2. Don't Look Away, So Sad About Us, and the big one, which was Quick One While He's Away, which that song is freaking amazing. It's his first real masterpiece. People might say, oh, well, My Generation's a masterpiece. Yes, it is a great song, but in terms of songwriting and what he would end up becoming with all the themes and the Tommy and all that, this was like his first real masterpiece. A Quick One While He's Away. Then after that, after that album, they would get interested in they got interested in the pirate radio, which that's a whole thing. They released a single in mid-1967 because Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, and Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones, they got caught with the drug bust, and they released a single of 2 Rolling Stone cover songs. The A side being The Last Time, and the B side being Under My Thumb. Those are supposed to be like their way of protesting against their drug bust. I respect that a lot. I really like those singles. The Last Time and Under My Thumb. Really good songs. But Pete Townsend was really, like I said, he was really interested in making themes, and this was like a concept album mostly of pirate radio, with Radio London, having advertisements in between every song. Very unique, very, very unique. No other band was like this before then, and I don't think any band did this afterwards. This is definitely a one of a kind record. I guess I'll review the stereo LP, 2 LP set I got. Army AC in the Sky, very crazy. What a great song that is. And then has a great advertisement in between. Has the Heinz Baked Beans, very funny. Love that track. Marianne with the Shaky Hand is cool. Odorono's great. I'm going to be pretty vague with these reviews because Jason Neal Millennial, Breyer from Breyer's Music Showcase, and Scott on SoundLab Studios, we reviewed this album in depth in his channel, SoundLab Studios. Check that video out. You'll see me a lot more excited and a lot more hyped about it. This is just sort of like a celebratory 56th anniversary review, sort of. Tattoo is great. Our Love Was, I Can See for Miles. One of my favorite hits from 67. I Can't Reach You, Doc, Relax, one of my favorites. Silas Stingy, love that song. Sunrise is great. Rayo 1 and 2 are just phenomenal. As for the bonus tracks, Marianne with the Shaky Hand US single version, the B side to I Can See for Miles, the US single, the US B side, pretty good. I prefer the one that's on the album, the acoustic version. Someone's Coming, the UK B side to I Could See for Miles. Much prefer this B side over the US B side. Summertime Blues, really cool outtake. Uh, the more popular version of the song would the more popular cover version of by them is from the Live at Leeds version. I personally prefer this version. Glittering Girl is pretty cool. Early Morning Taxi. It was a song co-written by Daltrey. Would have been cool if it would have appeared on this album some way, somehow. This would have been a cool double album. Would have been cool. It had so much songs recorded for at this time. Early Morning Girl's Eyes, which was co-written by Keith Moon and John Entwistle. The Ox. This was originally going to appear on the album, but then one reason or another they took it out for Sunrise because, let's be honest, Sounds was a lot more dominant in the decision making, which almost broke up the Who because Entwistle and Keith Moon were kind of sick of that. They were gonna quit to become a duo act. That would have been cool because they had 2 songs together, In the City, that they recorded for the Who for the A Quick One album, which that also didn't appear on that album. And then they recorded this song, both amazing songs. It would have been cool to have like at least one album with just these 2 guys. It would have been cool just to see that a little bit. Coke After Coke is pretty cool. Song About's nice. Things Go Better with Coke. I like that song. They make it they do an epic version of In the Hall of the Mountain King. Definitely check that version out. It's pretty freaking epic. And Jaguar. If you want to see Entwistle absolute go crazy on the vocals, listen to that. It's like freaking epic. I love that track. Ray L. IBC remake. It's all right for the original, like I said, the one that's on the album. What more to say? I love the album cover. Very British humory. I mean, freaking Daltrey is in a bath full of baked beans. Interesting enough, Daltrey was supposed to get the photo shoot with her. That was supposed to be the photo with Daltrey, but and was supposed to get the Heinz baked beans photo, but Entwistle skipped out on the photo shoot, and Daltrey reluctantly took the photo shoot of the Heinz baked beans. He had hypothermia because of it, unsurprisingly, because it was cold freaking beans. They said, unsurprisingly, he got hypothermia because of that. Pretty funny. Well, not really, but I don't know. And then an unsettling image. John Entwistle smiling because the guy knew what he was doing. He knew what was up. I love the oversized Odorono deodorant stick with Pete Townsend. That's pretty freaking funny. Love the thing with the Keith Moon putting the Medoc on his face. I can imagine he's the Henry Pond that they would talk about in the song. Yeah. They're all 4 of them are advertising at least one song on the album. Of course, this is the Odorono song. This is the Heinz Baked Beans song. This is the Medoc song, and this is like the short song, very, very short song from I Can't Reach You, which is called Charles Atlas. Or Charles Atlas chords with dynamic tensions will make you a beast of a man. Uh, I have really nothing much more to say. This album is so important to me. It's just an important album to me. I don't know why. It's just important to me. Always loved it from the first time I heard it to now. It's just an essential album to you music lovers out there who loves 60s British invasion. I mean, if how can you say you love 60s British invasion without checking this thing out at least once? Uh for anyone who was watching, thank you so much for watching the video. I just wanted to celebrate my favorite album's anniversary date, December 15th. Sadly, I missed out on the quick one anniversary, which was 6 days ago. Didn't realize that was also December. Thank you guys for watching this video, though. So long.